Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. It's time for the redemption of the channel. It's time to kick things off, turn new pages, start fresh with some new stuff, some new ideas, some new things. Today, I'm going to be talking about and going through my England Euro 2021 squad. Very different. If you're here for it, make sure you subscribe, drop a like. I want to do more football content. It's something I'm passionate about. So let's do this. Before we begin, I'm just going to jump into something a little bit more comfortable. Bosh! Check out this bad boy. Ooh. Fresh England drip. All right, so without further ado, let's go. Let's get into this. I'm going to start waffling. I'm going to start talking about my squad. And remember, guys, I want to have this conversation. I know it's been flying about, like, my group chats, my WhatsApp groups, whatever. Everyone's been popping off. Everyone's been talking about it. I want to hear what you guys think as well. So please let me know. Comments, Twitter, whatever, Instagram. All the links will be in the description. Please let me know. Keep me posted. And obviously, if you want to talk to me live about it, I'm live Monday to Friday, about 2 p.m. over on Twitch. First line of the description. Come and have a chat. And yeah, I'm going to stop waffling. Let's go. So, my goalkeepers. Easy one for me, personally. I'm going with Pickford, Pope, and Henderson. It's very easy, straightforward. Pickford is my number one, personally, especially from the World Cup. I don't think he's ever done anything wrong for England at all. I know he's been very, hit and miss for Everton in the last, year or two, but for England, he's just always been quality, and he's the guy. The way we play, from the back and whatever, play football-wise, he's just the best. We've seen Pope in goal for England a couple of times, and with his feet, it's not it. He's dodgy. He's very dodgy, and I know he's a great goalkeeper, but not for me. All right, and now this is another one. I think a lot of the squad is very similar. I think the starting 11 for everyone is going to be very close. I think everyone's sort of on the same wavelength, and everyone's performances this season, the sort of team has pretty much picked itself. Obviously the two starting centre halves have to be Stones and Maguire. It's just obvious. Everyone says it. Just off their performances this season, Maguire's the rock. He's the man. And if you think otherwise, you're stupid. Stones has been quality. Obviously those two played together in the World Cup as well. So that's good. And my two backups, this is another thing where people have gone, with different things. And I'm going to go with Godfrey and Cody. So I'm going with 4 centre-halves. I'm going to go for Godfrey and Cody. Godfrey is brilliant. He's young, he's quick, he's the future. He is. And also, he can play right back or left back. I also think if Gareth wants to play a 5, he'll be good as an outside centre-back. And Cody, experience, leadership, that guy, I love him. You listen to his interviews, he's brilliant. He just talks so well. And yeah, I think he's a good footballer. Don't think he's the best centre-half. I wouldn't say he's better than Mings per se, or who else in the conversation. People have been talking about Tomori. I know people have been talking about Michael Keane. He was close for me. He was probably my 5th choice. And then Tomori. And then there's Lewis Dunk. Then you've got Tarkowski and me who've dropped off a little bit. There's a few others that I'm probably not thinking of as well, but those are mine. Yeah, let me know if you agree. 2 left backs are very simple too, I think, and I know everyone will go with this. It's Shaw and Chilwell any day of the week, I think. Those two are a given. They're going to be in the squad. Shaw will probably start, and Chilwell will play. Chilwell might play in maybe an easier game. Also, I think Shaw can sit in as if we're playing a 5, Shaw can play a left centre-half too, as he's played next to Maguire loads of times already. Then we move on to the right-backs. I'd play Shaw, Maguire, Stones and Walker in a back 4. That would be my ideal, because I like the idea of having the relationship with the Maguire and Shaw on one side, because they play with each other at United every week, and then Walker and Stones on the other side. Having those relationships in the back 4, I feel can do us some massive favours this summer. I really do. I think I'm so hopeful. I really am. I think we've got something. I really do. Let me move on to the right backs. Walker's my first choice, but he's been in fantastic form recently for City. Reece James is second for me. I think he's mustard. I've watched him a lot recently, and he's a monster. He's so quick and so strong, and his delivery is fantastic. And I think as an all-round player, he just offers more than than my third one, who I'm going to take anyway. You can't not, on his day. Trent Alexander-Arnold, what a player. I know he's out of form, but when he got dropped, when Gareth didn't pick him, his form just went woof, and he started playing so well. And you can't deny it. Going forward, his delivery is a joke. He's unbelievable. He really is. I wouldn't like to see him start personally because I think he's a liability going back, but I think he's definitely an option. He really is an option. But like James and Walker, if we're in a back four, Walker's my right back any day. In a back five, I'd be quite happy with either Walker or James playing as a right centre half. Walker did it in the last World Cup, and Reece James has done it for Chelsea. The other day when Chelsea were playing Leicester, Reece James played as a inside right centre half, and Azpilicueta was playing as a right back. So they sort of like switched positions there, and he played it so well against like Vardy and stuff like that. So he's definitely got that in the locker. We've got so many good defensive options, and it feels like for the first time in a while. One person I am going to mention as well is Trippier. A lot of people have forgotten about him. I'm not going to lie, I nearly put him in instead of Trent, and he might be about to win the league with Atletico. I wouldn't like him to play personally, but he's one of those players, and I was going to get onto it a little bit later on when I go into my centre mids. The experience in the dressing room is key, I think. Personally, for me, if I was in there, I would like to see these players, not all of them that have played at the World Cup, obviously, because it is based on form, right? Most of it. But these players that have been and done it and that are experienced plays a massive part, especially to pick these young boys up and drag them through it. So, you know, I wouldn't be too against Trippier. I wouldn't like him to play, but you know, if he went, I can see him going. I can see Gareth taking him, and if he does, then I wouldn't be surprised. All right, then moving on to our midfield. I'm longing this a little bit too much. I'm going to try and speed things up a little bit. I'm waffling way too much. My starting centre mid is going to be Declan Rice. I think that's quite a fair shout. I think a lot of people are going to go with that. I also am going to be taking Calvin Phillips. I think he's great. I think he's a great ball winner, and he's very good on the ball. Arguably a better passer than Rice. Really good passer. And I can't remember who we were playing, but one of the last England games they played together, and I thought they were brilliant together. And I was always against playing two holders together for England with all the creativity we've got. However, they played really, really well together. So if we do start with them two, I wouldn't complain. They're both great players, and I think they're definitely both going to go. I don't know if they're both going to start. But as my third CDM or centre mid, whatever you want to call it, it's going to be Jordan Henderson. Look, and if he's completely injured, no fitness whatsoever, I think if Gareth takes him, he's going to get a lot of stick. But I think he's a player, whether he doesn't cross the white line, I think he's a player that has to go. Personally, I think his experience and his leadership is second to none. I also think in Russia he was one of our best players. He was brilliant, and I think he's just got to go. We've got to try and get him there at all costs. In like that experience, I was watching an interview of Harry Kane. You guys might have seen it. He did one with Gary Neville. He did like an hour-long interview with Gary Neville, and he talked about how important having people like that in the changing room are. And he obviously mentioned Henderson and Maguire and people like that who are captains of their own team that bring so much to the changing room. And if Harry Kane's saying that, like, you know, it sort of shows the impact that a player like that must have on the dressing room, right? And, the morale and the, being able to, like, lift people. I think some players like that are huge. And I think he's got to go, personally. And if he's 100% fit, he starts all day of the week. Right, anyway, moving on. Let's talk about centre mid / like number 8s. Sort of like attacking midfielders more. So I've like put these into like more like a forward category. I've gone for 5 of them. Sort of like 8s to 10s essentially. So I've gone with my starters. I still haven't fully decided. Mason Mount's got to start for me. And I think a lot of people have come around to liking him now, and I think he 100% starts, 100%. And I don't think anyone disagrees with me there. And then we've got. So I'm just going to list what my other 5 are, and then I'll decide who starts after. My other 4, sorry. So I've gone with Grealish. Obviously, everyone loves Jack Grealish. Phil Foden, obviously. Foden starts any day of the week. I've also gone with Jude Bellingham, which is a little bit of a risky one, I think, but I think he's got to go. I think he's brilliant. He's I think one of the only like number 8s that we've got. I think there's 2. Well, there's 3. I think Mount, Bellingham, and my 5th one is going to be James Ward-Prowse. That's not because I'm a Southampton fan either. Well, it is a bit. I watch him more than I watch most of these other players. But yeah, those are my 5. So Mount, Grealish, Foden, Ward-Prowse, and Bellingham. Out of them to start, I'm going to say in front of Rice, I'd like it to be Mount and probably, you know what, Bellingham probably, or Bellingham or Ward-Prowse. I'd like to see Foden start a bit further forward, maybe on one of the wings. My team's going to be on screen here. I haven't got it in front of me, but it's going to be on screen here, so you'll be able to see it. It's going to be Mount, Foden, going to be further forward, so Mount and Bellingham or Ward-Prowse in the middle. I just love him. I think Grealish is a tricky one because he's not fully fit. He did play for Villa and he played 70 minutes on the weekend, which is really good. And when he's played for England, he's been unreal. And the whole nation loves Jack Grealish, apart from Birmingham fans. So that's brilliant. And if he's fully fit, great, he goes. I know Gareth maybe didn't like him too much at the start, but I think he might have warmed to him slightly, luckily. Foden speaks for itself. He is the most exciting English player right now. I think he's magic. He's absolute magic. I absolutely love him, and he's going to be our golden boy for years to come. He's going to be the best player in the world at one point, I reckon. And you're already seeing glimpses of it. It's like watching a young Messi sometimes. That goal he scored against Brighton the other day was just ridiculous. And Bellingham played so good in the Champions League. He deserves a shot. Ward-Prowse is an interesting one, and I know people won't agree with that. I watch him every week. Everyone knows his set pieces are probably arguably the best in the league. His corners are brilliant. Maybe not the best in the league, but obviously his free kicks are the best in the league without fail. And I think in a tournament like this, you know, with Stones, with Kane, with Maguire, we've got potential to win games based on set pieces in terms of free kicks and in terms of if we're going to dominate the ball a little bit more, which we won't fully, but winning those free kicks up the pitch, it could be huge. It really could be. And that's why I think starting Ward-Prowse could be an option. You know, there's a big debate there on whether or not he's a good enough player to start, but personally, you know, I probably would. I don't know if I'd start him. I still don't know. I'm about 70% leaning towards him over Bellingham. I'm not sure. Let's smash through this. I'm gonna go through the wide players first, and I'm still not fully set, but I'm pretty much there. So I've got 6 players left to pick, and I've gone with 4 wingers. So I've gone like 2 each side. Then I've gone with 2 strikers. So my 2 left-sided players are going to be Rashford and Sterling. I think that they pick themselves, really. I saw a couple people say that Sterling isn't even in their squad. Come off it. Yes, he's not been in the best form, but Sterling is. You can't. Sterling's going to start. He just is. He always does for England. Also, Rashford. Don't know who they picked there. I don't know who I'd start over Rashford and Sterling. It's a really tough one. I really don't know. I honestly don't mind. One of them. I'm easy. I also would play Foden on the right side of these front 3. And then the other 2 wingers, so on the right side, is going to be Sancho. He's got to go. He's just playing brilliantly at the moment, and he's just very creative. I don't think he's done it in the England shirt at all yet. He's not done anything for me, but at club level, you can't deny his quality. He's got to go. And then on the other side, the other one is going to be, I've got written down here Greenwood/Lingard. I can't decide. I really can't decide. I think I'm going to go Greenwood. The only reason I want Lingard is because I think he brings, his form recently has been brilliant, and I don't know what it is. I just love him. I think a lot of people love him. He's got this aura that's just don't know. It's just his energy is just infectious. It's great, and I think having a player around like that in the changing room is brilliant. And he always plays well for England. He always has done. Even in the last World Cup, he was still good. So it's a tough one. It really is between Greenwood and Lingard. It's a very tough one. But I think I'd like to go with Greenwood just because off that bench, like he's going to be amazing, and he can just go one way, go the other, just take these snapshots. I'd love to see him off the bench, and he can come in as a number 9 as well. And that's good experience. He's going to be another one for the future. So I'd probably take him over Lingard. And obviously, number 9 is Harry Kane. He's our best player by a country mile. He's our most important player. He's the best player in the league. He's my favourite player in the world. I absolutely love that man. As a number 9 myself, you know, not anywhere to near his level. He's someone that I admire so much. He's amazing. And I love his mentality. He's just quality. Love that man. And he's the England captain. You can't not love him. And he's going to break the Premier League and England records, hopefully. So, and then it's got to be Calvert-Lewin as his understudy. I was torn, you know, because Calvert-Lewin is a absolute miss on toast. He hates a 1v1. His finishing is pretty poor. However, I think if a game needs to be stretched or we need to throw the kitchen sink, he's probably the best chance we've got as a backup striker because he is good in the air and he is quick. Because the other option is like, for me, the other option is Danny Ings because I'm a Saints fan, but we don't need Danny Ings because we've got Harry Kane and we've got Rashford, who would be, you know, arguably the second best number 9 in the squad anyway. So yeah, I don't see anyone. I'd like people saying Watkins, Bamford. We don't need them. I don't think. So yeah, that's my squad. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Hopefully England do the business. I have rambled on much more than I wanted to. I accidentally was talking for 22 minutes. So yeah, I apologise for that, but that's my squad. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Make sure you follow my socials. The links will be in the description down below. And yeah, take care. Up the England. Come on, you. What colour do you play in? White and blue, is it this year? Up the boys. And yeah, be ready for some more football content coming your way because I'm going to do it. I'm going to keep doing these talking videos because I just talk too much. Bye.